You're never going to believe this, right? Because I've been writing so much about Brooklyn and Nicola. Fanny gone and blocked me on Instagram.
I think that the use of Instagram in this whole story is incredibly interesting.
At that point, Victoria became furious.
Brooklyn very much knew what he was doing and getting that message across. I'm not happy.
I think the Beckhams have accepted that they've probably lost their son.
And his family now believes they have lost their son. Behind the missing birthday posts, silent anniversaries, and empty seats at David's 50th lies a choice that hurts everyone. This is not just a feud. It is the story of a son who decided that walking away was better than staying in the family brand. So here's the question. Is Brooklyn protecting his mental health and his marriage, or is he disrespecting the parents who built his entire life? If your partner wanted distance from your family, would you keep the peace with your parents, or would you burn that bridge to protect your relationship? Tell me where you stand, because by the end of this video, you will probably have picked a side. Imagine opening Instagram and realizing your own child uses it to speak to you without any words. For Brooklyn Beckham, Instagram is not just a social app. It is how he signals who he stands with and who he is stepping away from. Every missing birthday post and every cold silence around a milestone now looks deliberate, not random. When the journalist covering his life is suddenly blocked by both Brooklyn and Nicola, that shows they want full control over their story. No one gets to frame this fallout except them. Then, insiders say David and Victoria have accepted they have probably lost their son. This flips the image of the perfect Beckham family. This is not strict parents pushing a son away. It is a grown man using distance as a message. What do you think happened inside that family to make silence feel safer than speaking?
And I remember that she took him to the Glamour Awards in 2013 as her date, and he rocked up in this. He looked, he looked so cute in this suit, and she got up on stage and paid tribute to him and said that he was the most handsome man in the room. She really relied on Brooklyn, and he was kind of the man of the house, and he very much lived up to that while David was away. And at the time, I think they were having difficulties in their marriage again. They'd moved back to London, David was away, and he was a real rock for her.
You have to see how close he once stood to his mother. After the affair allegations in 2004, Victoria did not just rely on friends or staff. She leaned on Brooklyn. She took him as her date to events, praised him on stage, and called him the most handsome man in the room. At home, while David traveled and the marriage went through rough periods, Brooklyn became the steady presence. He was the one she could depend on. People started to see him as the man of the house, not just the eldest child. That kind of role can feel flattering when you are young. Over time, it turns into pressure. You carry adult worries on teenage shoulders. Years later, when that boy grows up and steps back, it is easy to call it ungrateful. It may simply be a tired son dropping a weight that was never his.
We had this looming wedding, and that's where it all started to unravel.
From my understanding, the feud started when Nicola refused to wear one of Victoria Beckham's designs. Nicola wore 3 dresses throughout her wedding day and into the night, and none of them were any of Victoria's designs. A young woman sort of dreams of this day from a really young age, so I think she probably had an idea of what she wanted. It begs the question as to whether Nicola asked Brooklyn to pass that message on, or whether she might have had that exact conversation with Victoria. But once that conversation would have been had, I can only imagine Victoria's feeling towards that must have been quite bitter, for sure.
Nicola wears 3 dresses, and not one of them is by Victoria. In most families, that is a small detail. In this family, it is a public decision. Victoria is not just a mom watching her son marry. She is a designer whose work often appears at key family moments. Being left out of the bridal looks sends a sharp signal. Nicola does not want to be styled or branded by her. Brooklyn stands beside Nicola and backs that choice. For Victoria, it likely feels like rejection on 2 levels, both personal and professional. From that day, every missed fashion show, every cool interaction, and every quiet snub sits on top of that first slight. If you were in Brooklyn's position, how long would you keep trying to smooth things over before you stop asking both sides to like each other? Tell me whose choice you understand more.
I felt like, got our confirmation that something was definitely going on here. It was Brooklyn and Nicola's 3rd wedding anniversary, and nothing was ever posted.
The Beckhams didn't wish them a happy wedding anniversary, which for the Beckhams is unheard of.
What's really interesting about this was that Brooklyn posted a picture to his Instagram story of a bouquet of flowers, I think it was, or some sort of hamper. And the first photo said, "Thank you so much. What a lovely gift to receive." Now, that post was only up for a couple of minutes before he then took it down, he deleted it, and reposted the exact same image with a different caption that then thanked his in-laws, Nicola's mum and dad, for sending it to him. So at the time, that very much felt like a dig to his family for probably not sending anything.
For years, the Beckhams have used Instagram to show unity. Birthday posts, romantic captions, family photos. It is part of how they manage their image. So when Brooklyn and Nicola's 3rd wedding anniversary arrives and his parents say nothing, it stands out. No public congratulations, no warm message, just silence. Brooklyn's response is careful. First, he posts a bouquet with a simple thank you. Then he deletes it and reposts the same picture, this time thanking only his in-laws. That small change says a lot. He shows that the people who marked the day are Nicola's parents, not his own. For a family that studies every caption, that looks like a clear ranking. The old center of his life has slipped down the list. In his actions, you can see a son choosing where he now feels most supported, even if that choice hurts his parents.
A series of pictures of this boy's fishing trip to the Scottish Highlands, and there are loads of pictures of them on fishing boats. This break took place 2 days before the big family party in the Cotswolds. So Brooklyn was in the country, Brooklyn could have gone. Brooklyn was invited 6 months before, as David told us on Instagram. So there was a clear intention there for David to tell the world that his son didn't want to be there. And he posted saying, "Miss you at Brooklyn Beckham." Didn't want to be there. And so that, when you see that, you're like, oh my God. I think the most significant takeaway from those pictures were that David didn't have to put them out there. And I think such was the upset and the anger. The fact
He posts photos from a boys' fishing trip in the Scottish Highlands and writes that he misses Brooklyn. Those pictures were taken just before the big family party in the Cotswolds. The caption makes one fact plain: Brooklyn was in the country. He had been invited for months. He still did not come. For a father who built his image on being devoted to his children, that cuts deep. Turning that pain into a public post shows how much he wants the world to know that he tried. Behind the scenes, friends say the family worry that Brooklyn now only spends time with Nicola and her circle. Online, people link the story to Harry and Meghan and rush to blame the older American wife. Whatever you believe about that, one thing is clear: Brooklyn has chosen a life where distance from his parents is the price he is willing to pay for peace.